Hi, good morning everyone, and welcome to the hands-on training session on Spark AR. Today we have with us Miss Roopal Mittal. Roopal is the campus ambassador at Spark AR, and she will be teaching you how to build your AR effects on Spark AR. I hope all of you have downloaded Spark AR Studio and are ready with your laptops. You can keep building your AR effects along with the workshop and submit your AR effects at the end of the workshop on the Google form that has been shared with you over the email. We will also share the submission link in the comment section. Everyone who submits an AR effect will receive a backpack and a certificate from Facebook Spark AR. So don't miss this opportunity and submit your AR effects today. Now, without any further delay, let's start the workshop. Over to you, Rupal.
Thank you, Oscar. Hello, everyone. I'm Roopal Mittal, Spark campus leader from Reskill and Meta. Today I'm going to guide you guys on basically how to get started on your journey with Spark AR Studio and make your first AR effects. So, uh, just a little housekeeping before we start the session. If you have any doubts or if you want to say something, just post it in the comment section and I can take them up at the last in the Q&A. Yeah. I'll ask, just try to make it a little interactive. So I'll ask whatever I ask, just whatever comes to your mind, just post it in the comment section. So, what is augmented reality or AR as we say? Any thoughts about AR? Anything that comes up to your mind? Instagram filters, you see, what is that? Okay. So, in simple words, augmented reality or AR is the real time use of information in the form of text, graphics, audio, and other with virtual enhancements integrated with real world objects, like what we call filters on Instagram and Facebook, where we add digital components to real world objects or a live view. So, that is basically what AR is, right? Now I'm going to talk a little about what Spark AR Studio is and what it is used for. So, Spark AI Studio is basically an augmented reality platform for Mac and Windows that helps make the process of development of interactive augmented reality experiences and effects more accessible. So, you can basically build filters and effects and publish them on Facebook, Instagram, and Messenger to be used by people worldwide, right? So, the tool is very user friendly, I would say, and you don't even need any prior coding knowledge to get started with it. But yeah, if you dive in deeper into more concepts and capabilities, you would need that as well. Now, that's just a brief about what the software is, and now, without any further ado, let's get started with the hands-on session. I'll just reiterate, if you haven't downloaded Spark AR Studio yet, we'll just share the download link in the chat window, and you can put it on download as we speak. And as I just make an effect, you can just make it side by side. Yeah, so I'll just share my screen and we can start the hands-on session. Just give me a moment. Okay. So I hope my screen is visible. Just give me a heads up on that. Okay. Yeah, I think it's visible. Yeah. So this is the first window that comes up when you open Spark AI Studio. Here you can see there are a few predefined templates here which you can use as a beginner to start with. We'll make an effect with the template as well. But right now I'll start with a blank project right here to show you all the components that are there when you open a blank project and whatever comes on screen when you open a project. So right in front of my screen you can see, so this at the very center of my screen is the viewport, where all the components that we add in the scene are here in the viewport. You can just view it as, you know, from the front side of the viewport. You can see the back side of the viewport as you wish, like, or the right, or any version you wish. Like right now we'll just keep it the front view only, the left one. Yeah. So this is the viewport basically. Now the phone like structure here, you can see this is the simulator. So whatever you add, whatever components you add, how it's gonna look on your mobile devices, it is what the simulator will show you. So in the left panel right here, you can see the left topmost panel is the scene. So what basically is scene is where you add all these components. Like you add an object, it is displayed here. You add say a text, so the 3D text that you add is displayed here. So when I click on device, so you can see these blue lines that come up. So with whatever component I click on, say if I click on direction light, this is the direction light. So here on the viewport, the very component that you click on the scene is highlighted on the viewport. If I so these are the this is the scene panel. I'll add objects and we'll see what all, when we'll add in the scene, what all comes up in the viewport, and correspondingly you can see that in the simulator. So we'll talk about the other panel that we have right here. So I'll just move it a little bit here. So on the right side of the screen, you can see the right panel, that is the properties panel. So whatever component we click on the scene, the corresponding properties to that very component is highlighted in the right panel. So say if I click on microphone, so we can see the properties related to microphone. So if we have this thing like disable mic option. So if I am making an effect, and if I don't want the user to maybe record audio, even if like he or she wants to speak something, so if I disable the mic option here, even if the user says something or record a video, that audio won't be audible. So by default it is enabled, so we'll keep it as it is for now, just to see what all comes up here. So now we'll move on to the other panel, which is here in the left panel. You can see the assets section right here. So what are assets? Assets are basically all the resources that we use in Spark AI Studio, like the textures, the images, the objects that we put in, or we can import that from our local system, or we can use the asset library. We'll talk about the asset library just after this panel. So yeah, we can move to the asset library. So right here, what asset library is, asset library has a set of predefined, or I would say inbuilt resources. It has 3D objects, music, patch assets, textures. So if you need, say I'll click on maybe textures, and if I want to import say a forest texture, so I can just import it directly from here, import it free, and you can see in the assets, the texture that I imported from the asset library comes up in the textures section, forest here. So you can use n number of 3D objects, music, textures or blocks as you wish. Like that's on the designer's choice. When you start making an effect, you can move to that. So this is an inbuilt library of objects and textures and all these things that are mentioned here. So you can use that as well, or the other option is we can just add it from our local system. So I can import it from here. I'll just import a texture so as to, okay, so I'll take a image. I'm taking a random image. So I'm taking an image of Eiffel Tower as a texture. So right here in the right panel, you can see the properties associated with this very texture. So we'll talk about the properties here so that you can get a familiarity of what all comes on the screen, right? We have talked about scene, we have talked about the viewport, we have talked about the simulator right here. Now the assets we have talked about. Now we'll talk about the properties in the right panel corresponding to a particular texture. So if I click on this very texture, these are the properties. Like this is a single texture. A single texture means that it is a single image. So textures can be jpg, png images. It can't be gifs, but you can of course use gifs as well, because GIFs are a series of PNG images itself. So if you just uh, get them, you can just divide those GIFs into a series of PNG images and upload it as animation sequence. So we'll talk about it. I'll make an effect using a GIF to show you how it works. So we'll talk about the properties right here. So like I said, this is a single texture, that is a single image. You can also have a texture sequence. So what I mean by texture sequence is a series of images, like I said. So if you want to say upload 4 images, 10 images at the same time and use that as a texture sequence, so you can do it via the texture sequence type here. Right now we'll keep it, since it's a single image, we'll keep it as it is. These are the properties for the image that I have uploaded. Now the color encoding scheme. So the color encoding scheme is by default linear, but if I just click on to sRGB, you won't be able to see the difference in the preview section here. But if we'll use this very image and change the color encoding scheme to sRGB, so you'll see the difference in perspective. What sRGB is, it's basically every image is formed of red, green, blue, and the fourth component, that is alpha. So this is what any image is made up of. Right now we'll talk about the next thing that we have here. Right here we have the compression feature. So it is a very nice feature that we have in Spark AI Studio. So what it does is, like, if you have it the image I have uploaded is of 340 kb, so you don't actually need to compress it more. But yeah, if I upload an image of, say, a HD quality, that is of, say, 5 MB, so I need to compress it because I'll add more more things to my effect, just not that image, right? So the effect size will increase. And what Facebook does is, like, the ideal size that Facebook allows for an effect to be used by a maximum number of users worldwide, it's 4 MB. So you need to just keep in mind that thing. So compression tool helps us to do that. So right here we have automatic, manual, and none compression. We don't need any compression right here, so I can keep it to none. But if the image size is really large, then you can of course compress it. Okay, so these are some other filters. Okay, some other properties that are sampling, tiling mode, and interactions. So we won't be actually using that. We won't be using the patch editor or stuff right now. But yeah, we can talk about it in the further. Now if you can see this thing, the tiling mode. So what it does is, like, if I have a texture of this very size, so if I just put it here and it covers maybe one fourth of the screen size, so you want that very image to get repeated on the screen in the background maybe. So I don't have to add it 4 times. I don't have to add that rectangle 4 times. I just have to repeat it. So you can use the tiling mode right here. Since I'm not using this very texture anywhere, this option of repeat is not enabled right now, but yeah, we can use that. So this is all about the properties of any texture that we upload here. So we do have associated materials which add more capabilities to your textures. So we'll add that. Now we have talked about this thing, so what we can do is, maybe now it's all about talking about what all components that we see on the screen. So we'll add stuff in the scene and see what all it appears, how it appears on the viewport and the simulator, right? So I'll add an object. I'll add a face mesh. So I'll insert a face mesh right here. So yeah, right here in the add object section, you can see there are many components that you can add. So like the name suggests, first up that we have here is a face tracker. So what face tracker does is, it tracks the user's face. Like, as the user's face moves, it is going to move that very component associated as the child of face tracker with with the user's face, right? So we have plane tracker, target tracker, and hand tracker. You can explore that as well. We'll start with the face tracker to, you know, just show you what all it can do. Now I've used a face mesh right here as a child of the face tracker. Okay, so what if maybe I just not, I'll show you the difference if I add a face mesh as a child of the face tracker, and if I add a face mesh just outside face tracker and not uh, using as a child of the face tracker. So if I add an object face mesh outside, so you can just see this is outside face tracker, not inside it, and I'll place it a little above so you can see the difference between the two. So you can see the difference. What I have, the face mesh that I have added as the child of the face tracker is able to move as the user moves her face, right? And the face mesh that I've added as an individual component outside the face tracker, it is not able to track the user's face. It is just a static component right there. Okay, so this is about the difference while we use a hand tracker, face tracker, and all that stuff, the trackers. So I'll just remove this one. So by default, this is a checkbox thing that comes up. What you can do is we can add a material to add more, capabilities to it. So if I add a material, say this is the material. So I'll name it um, mesh mask mat so that we know which material is associated with which component. So this is the material associated with the mask. So right here you can see this thing changes since I added a material. So by default it's a white color. You can change the color from here. You can change the mask color right from here, any color you wish like. Or what you can do is you can associate a texture file with this very material also. So if I choose a file of, say, Eiffel Tower itself, we have this texture already with us. So if I say add this thing, so it isn't looking very nice, but yeah. So this very image comes up as the mask. It takes that very texture. The mask takes the texture of the image that we have associated with it. So maybe if I add a new texture, if I add a horror face, okay. So right here you can see if I had this mask and associate with the texture, say this one, so this is what comes up. Now you can see the placing is not very it's not covering the user's face. So what you can do is you can just move on to the position panel. Either what you can do is you can just stop this video right here. You can just stop it here, and you can move it up and down as you want to place it. But yeah, I'll do it from the transformations, the scale section here, so that I can increase the size. But yeah, you can do it from here as well. Like, you can just see this very component right here. So if I say make it a little better so that it fits the user's face. Okay, yeah. So this is what I have added, like a face mask. I've positioned it according to the user's face, changed a few scales so that it fits the face well. So yeah, this is a face mask that we have added. Now what other components, we'll see what other components that we can add. So say if I want to add maybe a 3D text, so I'll just go to the add object section here, go to 3D text, insert it right here. So you can see a 3D text is inserted right here, and the properties associated with it is what you can see in the right panel. So right here you can just write the text. So I'll just write, let's be creative. Okay, you can change the font as you wish like. Now you can see it is positioned right here. You can change the position from here, or from here, the position section, the xyz coordinates, you can change the xyz coordinates from here as you wish like, or just use these arrows. So right now I'm just gonna use these. Yeah. So this now this very text that we have added, the 3D text that we have added, can have associated materials as well. So if I add, say, a material, it has material 0 that has been added, so we'll just rename this material as text mat. So it is the material associated with the text that we have add. So what we can do is, again, like we did it with the mask, if I can just change the color, or I can add an associated texture to it, but I'll just change the color. We have seen what all comes up when we add a texture. So if I add a, say, a forest texture, so that very texture comes up within the letters of this 3D text, so that won't be visible, but I can show you how it comes up. We can just use a texture, say Eiffel Tower. So it's not that visible, but yeah, you can use that as well. It's looking nice, so we can keep it as it is. Yeah. So we have added a 3D text. We have seen what how we can add a face mesh right here. Now, like I talked about, we can add gifs also, and we can use the templates that we have. So this is one effect that we have made. We'll see afterwards like how to publish it. That is the other section that we have. But right now let's move to maybe a new file using a template. So if I want to create a new project and use a template right here, so I'll use a background template. This is just to show you like how you can start as a beginner if you don't know much, that is your first year effect. So you can just use a template, or you can start with a blank project like I did previously. But right now we are just using this template. This is a background template. This replace me is the default background that they have given up. So if I just start about explaining this a little bit, so what they have done is they have taken a canvas and added user and background as the two rectangles. So a canvas is basically just a plane in which you can add components. If I added two components, that is a user and the background component. So here we have associated materials with background and user. Now what we are going to do is we will delete this very part. We'll delete the background texture, and we'll add a new one. So what I'm going to do is, since I talked about gifs, so I'll add a animation sequence that is a series of png images. So if I add a animation sequence right here, let's name it, I'll add a fireworks sequence. So when I'll click on this thing, you get an option to choose the texture. So this is a series of images that you have to choose from here. So I'm gonna select these 21 images maybe I have. It will take a moment to just get uploaded right here, and I'll show you where it comes up when I had these images. So what I've done is I have used a gif and already divided it into 21 series of images, png images. So the frame that is added here is a series of c images, and since the size were really high, so we can do a manual compression or automatic compression. So it's reduced to 2.61 MB, you can see right here, right? So I'll, anyways, it's compressed. So right here, what we can do is, if I move to background material, so background material has none of the textures selected right now, right? So I'll do is I'll select the texture. So right now what we have added is a fireworks texture, right? So we'll select this, and you can just see that this series of this animation sequence, which is a series of 21 images that we have just uploaded here comes up at in the background as we added this texture in the background. So yeah, that is how you can add GIFs, and you can make your effect a little more interactive and dynamic. So yeah, this is what we can do if we use a template. And the other file that I showed, this is like starting with a blank project, adding certain components. What we have done right here is we have added a face mesh and a 3D text. So now we'll see how to publish the same, right? So I'll publish this very effect right here. So what you have to do is, just in the bottom right corner of a screen, you can see the publish button right here. So we'll click on publish. So you can publish an existing effect, or you can update an existing effect. So we'll publish a new effect, right? So this is how you can record a demo video. So if I click on demo video, actually the user comes up since my camera is already in use. So you can record a demo video on your devices. When you make an effect, it will be used actually in the section in the Spark AR hub will when we'll actually publish the effect. So we'll skip the demo video part for now. Now we'll talk about the platform requirements, or the experiences that we can add. So what it does is, I'll just click on the add experience thing right here. So what you can add is, we can add an experience. So what is experience? Basically, you can build an effect. Say I am a developer and I am building an effect and I just want users to use it and use it just for sharing purposes, or maybe posting only. I don't want the users to be able to use my effect while video calling, right? So I can just add a sharing experience right here. I'll insert the sharing experience. But if I maybe want it to be a video calling experience as well, so I'll add the video calling experience as well right here. So since it has yeah, we'll keep both of the experiences, or it's on your choice. What the developer wants, or what the designer wants from his or her effect. So we'll keep both the experiences. Its part is done. So right here you can see the our effect meets the file size requirements. Our effect has the capabilities and the experiences added. So this part is done. Now to be able to publish it, what you can do is, you can either export this file, this very project file, or you can, if you click on upload, then you can just it will directly get uploaded and be opened in the Spark AR hub. So I'll just show you both the ways you can do it. I'll just export this project file right here. So if I name it uh, demo mask, right? So I'm gonna just save this project file here. Or what you can do is, you can directly upload it. So if I click on upload, so this project file gets uploaded, and you'll be directed to the Spark AR hub in the browser window once it's finished uploading. So it may take just a few seconds to get uploaded. Yeah, but since we have already exported this very file, we don't actually need the upload. We can just cancel this upload, and I can just show you how it comes up. Yeah. So this is the window that comes up. This is basically the home page of Spark AR Hub. So if I want to publish an effect, I'll just go on to publish an effect. And if I would have clicked on the upload button there, so this is the window that would have come up while publishing an effect. So this is the name. We'll keep it demo mass itself. Now we'll have to upload the project file here. Okay, the project file has is being uploaded here. Or yeah, so it's uploaded. Now, what we can choose is in the platform section, you can just choose all the platforms, or you can specify if you want to have, maybe you want to publish your effect on specific platforms. Say, I want to just publish it on Instagram, or I want to just publish it on Facebook. So, that is totally on the developer's choice again. So, we'll talk about a few more things that we need when we have to publish an effect right here. So yeah, we can choose the categories in which our effect would lie. So if it's basically an experience, like you can add in selfies, weird and scary, sci-fi, and whatever you wish like. So you can add the keyword so that when say a user is maybe browsing effects, so these are the keywords that would help your effect get maximum impressions. So you can add the keywords. I'm gonna skip that part for now. And since I haven't uploaded the demo video, what I'm gonna do is I'm gonna just publish this effect on Facebook, and publish it link only. So what we can do is you can select the target audience. So if you of course publish it publicly, then it is available for all the users worldwide on Facebook, Instagram, and Messenger to see your effect. But if you just click on link only, then it will be shared only with the users you share the effect link with. So yeah, that is all you need to publish an effect. Right now I'm gonna publish this very effect. It may take a, okay, miss bad name mask. Yeah, I'll just click on publish. This may again take just a few seconds to get uploaded, and will be redirected to the effects section, that is again to the dashboard, the front, the home page that we saw just at the beginning of when we opened Spark Air Hub. So yeah, right here you can see that you have published your effect. So these are all the insights that come up since I've just published it with link only. So if I just share my effect using the share button here, so this is the effect link that you'll get. Or either since it's a link only effect, when you'll publish it publicly, it will get reviewed within a period of just a day to 5 days maximum. So it will according to the Facebook policies, it will get reviewed and accepted there. So you can test it on your device. You can click on test device and get the link here, share it with on test it on your device, or share it with your friends and see how it works. And from here you can just go on to these three dots and see here you can see the copy effect id text that it what it does is, like, if I'll just click on this, the effect id will be copied and you'll have to submit it in the Google form that will be just shared. So you need basically two things: the from the share here you can get the effect link, and from these three dots you can just get copy the effect id from here. So these are the two things that you would need to make a valid submission. So here we are done with how we can just make a simple effect and publish it on Spark Air Hub. Yeah, so that is all from my side. Now I'm open to questions if you have any. I'll stop sharing my screen. Yeah, so I think the form link will just be shared with you guys. There is this question in the chat box that I can see is, will this work on Android and iOS phones? Yes, it will work with Android and iOS phones. So in the compression section, like what we saw was there was iOS, Android, and older versions. So if there are components that are compatible with the older versions as well, so it will work with all, yeah, Android and iOS both.
Thank you, Rupal. It was a wonderful session.
Thank you, Oscar. Thank you, everyone, for having me. So we are here for 2 more minutes, I guess, and we can take the doubts if there are any. You can just post it in the comment section below. Okay, so there is this question that I can see from Ankit. Can we use still images? Yeah, yeah, you can use still images. Like I used a texture, the Eiffel Tower texture. So that is a single image that I have used. So that can be used, and you can place it, as you wish. Like I used it as a background, or maybe you can put it as a texture to be used on the face mask. So that is on you. You can use still images as well. No issues. Okay, I think the question is related to the registration link. So we'll just share the registration and the submission link.
I've shared the submission link in the comment section. You can create your AR effects and submit it on the Google form.
Yeah.
And the deadline is 17th of December, midnight. You can submit your AR effects before that. So thank you everyone for joining the session. I hope you have learned how to create your AR effects. Submit your AR effects as soon as possible and grab your goodies. Thank you. Have a good day. Bye.